The way we work is changing. More and more companies are embracing remote work as a viable and, in many cases, preferred option. For leaders, this shift presents a new set of challenges. How do we inspire and motivate teams when we're not face-to-face? How do we build a cohesive culture when our team is distributed across cities, states, or even countries? These are valid questions, but I believe the most important question we need to ask ourselves as leaders is why? Why do we believe in the work our teams are doing? And how can we transmit that belief, that sense of purpose, in a remote environment? That is the heart of the challenge and the foundation of successful remote leadership. In this video, we'll explore 6 key best practices that executives can implement to lead their remote teams effectively. These practices are not just about managing tasks or ensuring productivity. They're about creating an environment where every team member feels connected, valued, and inspired to do their best work, regardless of location.
When we can't walk down the hall and chat with a colleague, the way we communicate becomes paramount. It's the lifeblood of a remote team. We can't rely on chance encounters or unspoken understandings. Everything, and I mean everything, has to be communicated clearly and consistently. Think of it like oxygen. Without clear communication, a remote team will quickly suffocate. That's why it's essential to invest in robust communication platforms. Tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, or Zoom that allow for real-time interaction and collaboration. These tools become the virtual office space where your team gathers, shares ideas, and gets work done. But technology is only part of the equation. Just as important is establishing a culture of transparency and proactivity in communication. Don't wait for questions to arise, anticipate them. Regularly share key decisions, changes in direction, project updates, and any information that impacts your team's work or the organization as a whole. Finally, remember that communication is a two-way street. Encourage your team to speak up, share their thoughts, and ask questions. Create a safe space for open dialogue and feedback, where every voice is heard and valued. This is how you build trust and ensure everyone is aligned and moving in the same direction.
Building a strong team culture is always important, but in a remote environment, it's absolutely essential. When we're physically separated, it's easy to feel disconnected, isolated, even insignificant. It's the leader's responsibility to combat that. We need to be intentional about fostering a sense of belonging and camaraderie amongst our team members. How do we do that? By replicating as much as possible the informal interactions that happen naturally in an office setting. Schedule regular virtual coffee breaks, team lunches, or even online games. These casual interactions help team members connect on a personal level, build relationships, and foster a sense of community. Recognition is another powerful tool for building a strong team culture. When a team member goes above and beyond, acknowledge their efforts publicly. This not only boosts morale for the individual, but also reinforces the values and behaviors you want to see within the team. And just as you would with an in-office team, maintain an open door policy, virtually of course. Encourage your team members to reach out to you, to each other, to discuss concerns, bounce ideas, or simply to chat. This open communication fosters trust and makes everyone feel valued and heard.
One of the biggest concerns leaders have about remote work is productivity. It's a valid concern. When you can't physically see your team working, it's easy to fall into the trap of equating face time with productivity. But that's a dangerous and ultimately counterproductive mindset. In a remote environment, we need to shift our focus from hours worked to results achieved. This requires a fundamental shift in how we measure and manage performance. Start by setting clear, measurable goals for each team member and for the team as a whole. These goals should be tied to the overall objectives of the organization and should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound or SMART. When everyone knows what they're working towards and how their work contributes to the bigger picture, they're more likely to be engaged and productive. Once you've set clear goals, it's important to provide your team with the autonomy and flexibility to achieve them in their own way. Some people are most productive in the morning, others in the evening. Some thrive on a structured schedule, others need more flexibility. The key is to trust your team and empower them to find the work style that works best for them. As long as they're meeting their goals and producing high-quality work, the specifics of when and how they do it should be secondary.
Chapter 4. The blurred lines of work-life balance. One of the biggest challenges of remote work, for both individuals and organizations, is maintaining a healthy work-life balance. When your home is also your office, the lines can easily become blurred, leading to burnout, stress, and decreased productivity. As leaders, we have a responsibility to set the tone for a healthy work-life balance within our teams. This starts with encouraging our team members to set clear boundaries between their work and personal lives. This might mean setting specific work hours, creating a dedicated workspace, or simply making it clear that it's okay to disconnect outside of work hours. We also need to be mindful of our own behavior. If we're sending emails at all hours of the night or scheduling meetings during what should be personal time, we're sending the message that we expect our team to do the same. And that's not sustainable in the long run. Finally, we need to acknowledge that everyone's situation is different. Some team members may have caregiving responsibilities. Others may be dealing with personal challenges. It's important to be understanding and flexible and to offer support when needed.
Chapter 5. Setting your team up for success. Just like any successful endeavor, remote work requires the right tools and resources. You wouldn't expect an in-office team to perform at their best without the necessary equipment, software, and support. The same applies to remote teams. Investing in technology and infrastructure is not just about providing laptops and internet access, it's about creating a seamless and secure work environment that enables your team to thrive. This includes providing access to cloud-based storage solutions, project management tools, and any other software that facilitates collaboration and communication. Equally important is ensuring that your remote team has the training and support they need to use these tools effectively. Don't assume that everyone is tech-savvy. Provide clear instructions, offer training sessions, and be available to answer questions. Security is another crucial aspect of remote work infrastructure. With team members accessing sensitive information from various locations, it's essential to have robust cybersecurity measures in place. This includes using strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and educating your team about phishing scams and other security threats. By providing your team with the right tools, training, and support, you're setting them up for success and empowering them to work effectively and efficiently, regardless of their location. Chapter 6. Never stop learning. The world of remote work is constantly evolving with new tools, technologies, and best practices emerging all the time. Staying ahead of the curve requires a commitment to continuous learning and development, both for ourselves and for our teams. Encourage your team members to seek out professional development opportunities, whether it's attending online conferences, taking online courses, or simply reading industry publications. Provide them with the time and resources to invest in their growth, and make it clear that you value their commitment to continuous learning. Creating a culture of knowledge sharing is also essential in a remote environment. Encourage your team members to share their learnings with their colleagues, whether it's through informal conversations, formal presentations, or by creating a shared knowledge base. And don't forget about your own development as a leader. Seek out resources and connect with other leaders who are navigating the challenges and opportunities of remote work. The more we learn and grow, the better equipped we'll be to lead our teams effectively in this new era of work.
The shift to remote work presents both challenges and opportunities for corporate executives. It requires us to rethink traditional notions of leadership, communication, and team building. But it also offers the chance to create a more flexible, efficient, and ultimately more human work environment. By implementing the best practices we've discussed, you can ensure that your team remains productive, connected, and motivated, regardless of location. Embrace the potential of remote work to attract and retain top talent, to foster innovation, and to build a thriving organization that's fit for the future of work. The future of work is not about where we work, but how we work. And by leading with purpose, clarity, and empathy, we can create a remote work experience that benefits everyone.